My name is Mahanitya Supriyananda. I am a BTech graduate. I did my engineering in Anna University, MIT campus in Krompet. I have a brother. His name is Tyagarajananda. He is an MBA graduate. Actually, both of them came to the ashram to join there as an Ananda Yogam student, and after that we took up this brahmacharyam as our life and our path. Here I am in front of you to share the grievances which I am facing because of Lenin. Yesterday, on 30th December, around 8 o'clock in the morning, myself, my brother Tyagarajananda, and one more brahmachari from the ashram, Ma Achalananda, were walking towards Bidadi bus stop. That time, one car came and just stopped in between. From that car, Lenin and two other persons got down. They approached me and they stopped me from my further continuing on my way. They asked me, "Are you going to take any legal action against me?" I said yes. Then he threatened me, "If you start the legal action, I'll kill you." After that, I said, I am not bothered about that. He was holding an acid bottle, then he threatened me, "I'll throw it in your face if you are not going to stop this." And then I just came back, and by that time he started abusing me by using my caste name. I come from scheduled caste of Adi Dravida community. He very badly used all the very indecent words naming my community, calling me as a Parai Tevdiya, which means a scheduled caste prostitute, and all the other nonsenses. Since we were like frightened and we just wanted to do some other thing, we just wanted to escape from that place. Following our struggle, few other cars which were passing by that place, they stopped, and since they noticed that some other cars are stopping, they escaped from that place. So I got fear struck, and after that I wanted to take this issue immediately to the police, and then from there itself I called my counsels who are from CVSS associates. They asked me to come over to the office and they'll help me, and then there I opened first time to them what is the motive for which he was threatening me. Because Lenin know, because if I come out and tell the truth, he'll be behind bars. Because in July 2009, after a couple of days, he tried to attempt rape on me and few other incidences. So there was witness for that. I am the victim. If I come out boldly and tell the truth, he knows that he'll be caught. The reason why I kept my mouth shut is during that attempt, he used one liquid which he sprayed on my face. After that, I went like in a semi-conscious state. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't resist. I couldn't do anything. Using that situation, he took photographs of my semi-naked upper body in his cell phone, which one of our volunteers who was supposed to be coming to that place before, just by God's grace, she was there. If anything wrong would happen to me, so she banged the door, and after that, I came out of the place, and the next day evening, he threatened me, showing the pictures, telling me, "First thing, you don't know about me, what and all I can do against you and ashram and Swamiji. And first thing, I have lot of political influence in Tamil Nadu. I have media influence. I have the pictures with me, and I have sent a copy of the pictures already to some of my associates. By now time, they know what to do. If you open the mouth, I will send this copy to your family and to your parents. So, if they come, first thing they will get you out of this ashram. You will not be in the ashram first. So, you will not be in the ashram, then how can you try to say anything which happened here? Then already your parents are very much angry, and now I will turn the whole case against Swamiji and some of the senior disciples that they only did this act. See, as long as you keep your mouth shut, I'll be like, I won't show the video thing to the net or to the media. But the moment I smell that if you tell to Swamiji or to other associates or to your friends or to anyone, I'll not tell you, I'll do it. So, because of this fear that I have to face this public shame. It is like my semi-naked photographs are with him, the video is with him. So, having that fear, I kept my mouth shut, and then I was always wanted to contemplate, I was contemplating how to tell, I was just, the very fear drove me inside, I couldn't open my mouth. After that, this scandal which broke in March, he proved what he meant to me, that he had political influence, he had media influence, he had all the other influence. So after that, I couldn't even open my mouth to anyone. So his atrocities kept on going. I wanted to tell, but I couldn't tell because the videographs are still with him. He can do anything with that. I don't want to come out because I come from a respectable family. This will affect my family and my ashram. And already he is weaving so many stories against the ashram. So then slowly and slowly I saw that the things are settling legally. So okay, I thought let me go and take the legal action. I was just contemplating, I told only few of them, but somehow the news leaked to him, and then he came to get this information, and because of that he got frightened that I'll come out. So he came on that day, yesterday, on 30th, and after that incident I called up a lawyer. A lawyer helped me in drafting this complaint. In within 1 hour, we went to the CRE cell, Civil Right Enforcement Cell. There we were looking for our ADGP. He was not there. And then we are looking for SP. One of the officers were not there at that time. So we went to their office, got the complaint acknowledged, and straight away from there we went to Bidadi police station. We reached the Bidadi police station at around 1 o'clock. That time the SI was not there. So we were waiting in the police station for about 10 minutes. After that SI came. He went into his chambers. He was attending few other cases. After that, some half an hour, he called us. First, our counsels went inside. He didn't offer any chair for our counsels. Even after them introducing themselves like we are lawyers from CV Associates, he didn't offer chair, but they themselves took a chair and sat. After 2 minutes, I was called inside. I went inside and he asked me to sit there. Then he asked me, "Oh, you are the complainant?" Then I said, "Yes." "What's your name?" I said, "Manitya Supriyananda." Then my counsel started speaking. Then he was just jumping, started shouting that my counsels were behaving very arrogantly, and he was stating the statement that he was going to file 353 against us. Actually, I am the victim. I came forward with facing all the struggles to give a complaint to the Bidadi police station for justice for the atrocities which he has committed on me. In that place, he is threatening me that he will file 353 against me. Then my counsels humbly requested him to just first go through what is a complaint is. He didn't, like, for first few minutes he was just blaming that we are behaving very arrogantly, and he was very particularly insisting that my counsel has to go out of his chambers. He was me to sit there and me alone to sit there and answer his questions. Lawyers should not accompany me. There is no rule that lawyers should come. Then my counsel said, there is every rule that for an individual complaint, a lawyer can come with a victim. Even after that, he was not convinced. Then we came out and he was reading that complaint to some of the person, I don't know whom he was reading. And after consultation, he asked me, let's go to SP office in Ramnagaram. Then after that, I was made to sit outside. In that SP office, I could clearly hear some of them talking to Lenin. Lenin sir, Vanakkam sir, Enang sir, like this. And one lady from the ashram has come here telling some atrocities, and you have abused her using her caste name, and you have tried to do the attempt rape in July 2009, and they were reading each and every line over phone to that Lenin guy, and they were inquiring, where are you now? And then from their conversation, I could clearly tell that he was telling some reply, and then he was making statements like, oh, you are in Chennai, okay. Like that the conversation went. After that, till 5 o'clock we were made to wait outside. I was not called inside the SP office, and after that they asked me to come again to Bidadi police station. Then I was made to wait 45 minutes. Then later at 6 o'clock they came with a letter telling that it is an endorsement form. We are accepting your complaint as a petition. Since we called up and asked Lenin and he told that he is in Chennai, we are considering your complaint as a petition. We are not going to file a FIR. See, I am the victim. I have come forward so many struggles here to come out for justice. And there are victims. I am the victim and there are witnesses. I don't know what to do after this. And the police is not filing my FIR. What else they want me to do? I have witnessed which happened for that attempt rape. I have witnessed for this incident also, this acid threat attack, that incident also, the witness is there. Even after that witness and me, the victim who is coming in forward and giving the complaint, my complaint is not registered. This shows very clearly how powerful he is. I literally don't know what to do now. Still now, my complaint is not considered and it is not registered as a FIR. I don't have any money power, I don't have media power, I don't have any political power. All alone, I am alone. Yes, they are biased. If they are able to complain his complaint in the same time, see, he gave the complaint on March 4th evening 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. The complaint is accepted, FIR is filed, and then investigation also started at the same time. Not even a second gap. When his complaint is taken, why not my complaint? I was made to wait there for 5 hours. And later they are telling only we are considering your complaint as a petition and not an FIR. What they mean by this? I could hear this words, yes sir, Lenin sir, Vanakkam sir. These words I heard. I was made to wait outside the office. I don't know who spoke to him. I could hear these words, exactly these words. My counsel were also there. They also heard actually. In the SP office. Yeah, in the Ramnagar SP office. I don't know about that. Who spoke to him, I don't know about that. But I heard this voice because I was sitting outside. I was sitting from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the Ramanagara SP office. I couldn't hear you. Petition is not registered. The FIR is not registered. Even after me, the victim, going and standing in the police station with the witnesses, the FIR is not registered.
Any questions?
Any questions? FIR is not filed. I am telling you, FIR is not filed till now. They told they will investigate the matter. Since I spoke to him through the phone and he told something, so we want to investigate further and we will take action. Still now the FIR is not filed. Me, I want justice, I want your help, I want people's help. When he is able to file a FIR in no matter, without the victim, without the evidence, he was able to file a FIR. I am the victim, I have evidence, I have witness. This incident shows that only. This incident clearly shows that. Then why my FIR is not taken? I think his complaint was filed in Chennai. So any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.